going, Jeff? Jeff and Chaos hanging out in the chat. All right. So we are live. Hopefully people are seeing this by now and refreshing if not. If anyone is seeing this, go ahead and throw a little maybe refresh in the chat or something, let people know I'm live. But to everyone watching later in the future, hey there, it's Chris, aka Rufocus, and we're gonna look at some books today. A couple little books that I've had hanging around. Well, new one I just got actually given to me, and it's an older one, and I kind of thought it'd be fun to like compare and look at some of the stuff in this one compared to these. So look at the old versus the new, and yeah, this one's I'll give you an idea. Oh, where's the pictures? Yeah, there's no color pictures in this one. So, anyway, how y'all doing this morning? Get this put over here. Awesome, thank you. I guess it's morning for some, afternoon for most of us. 2:32 here on the East Coast. Cold, yeah, it's been raining today. Look, we've got gross, muggy, rainy. Ugh. So gross outside today. Hey Jeremiah, how you doing? So yeah, we'll flip around the camera, although I just flipped it back around twice. And we'll put these out and start looking through some stuff, and I don't know. I put in the description, or I guess a little community post earlier, if anyone has any questions on rocks, we could look them up in the old and the new books and see what kind of stuff we find, what kind of information. Although, ooh, that one's pretty cool. There's a nice old black and white picture of a thunder egg. A thunder egg from near Madras, Oregon. Yep. Yeah. This. Feeling all, I don't know, congested because of the pressure change. Because of the weather here, I feel like I sound different too. So yeah, we got the Rock and Mineral, the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Rocks and Minerals, and then I've got this little one, which is the Eyewitness Handbooks, Rocks and Minerals. While they look the same and one looks like a small version of the other, they are not the same. Different authors, different information. They just look very similar. We've got big red rocks. And then this one was given to me recently. I don't have the Minerals of the World, no. I literally just have these ones, and then Katie Did's book, and then like Utah rock hounding, and then I had the Oregon and Idaho rock hounding books, but those are kind of lame and a lot of bad sites in those, and I gave them away. Yeah, that one is, I have seen that one for sure. Oh, let's find some. So this one is actually a field collecting guide. So it's got more like information, sifting screens, has some information on pry bars, tools you might want to have, like all sorts of info on tools and how to use them. There's a borehole wedge. I've got a handful of wedges like that. What's up, Tyler? So this is a nice, I mean, it is a nice little guide. It's got a great little like how to build your rock hounders kit. Information about how to read maps. We won't get into all that. Using explosives. Wait, is there? Hold on. What should I or should I not show on here? Oh, it's got like how to tie your primers, how to do your primers and everything. It's got like, huh. Well, it's an interesting book. Next thing we're gonna find, there's some recipes in here. Electronic primers. The Rockhounds cookbook. Rock classes and how to recognize them. This one, oh man. Pardon me, all congested today. Where's the date on this one? Let's see. Copyright 1961, 1970. But first published in Geoscience Press in 1988. So maybe as old as 1988. Huh. Second edition. Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. I don't know if that's the actual print date, if this one's 1988 then. All the references in here from the 60s. There's just a lot of information in the back. Anyhow. So this is the meat of it I wanted to get into. Hey, Gems. How's it going? So, comparing some books here. So this one, Rock Classes and How to Recognize Them, which both of these books have and start out with that in the beginning as well. They also have tool recommendation guides and kits, but they're in full color and have a lot more pictures than these older books. But kind of wanted to compare them and look at some of the information that was represented in here. Some basic earth geology there. Talking about where certain rocks are formed. Yeah, so here you're going to learn the difference of metamorphic, igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks. Yeah. And about dikes and batholiths, sills, faults, all that fun stuff. That's all, I mean, not to everyone, but it is all basic geology, the first stuff you learn taking a geology class. Principal minerals of light-colored igneous rocks. Quartz, feldspars, olivine, pyroxenes. Oh, dark-colored igneous rocks, yeah. Okay, so some kind of so I'm going to bookmark there and compare that to this new one. Missed a few people join there. We had Sonia, hi Sonia, and Rocky Mountain Bear, Travis. Jeez, all of a sudden started while I was talking. Started getting super congested. The rain's pulling a lot of pollen out of the air. So I like these newer books because of the pretty pictures. The pretty pictures are really cool. But so this one has some of the same information talking about igneous versus sedimentary and stuff, but it has what looks to me, just glancing at it, a lot more in-depth information, at least visual representation to explain some of it. I've read through a lot of this already. Every once in a while I just pick up this book and open it to a page and start reading. How metamorphic rocks form, but so, ooh, some pretty gems. I wanted to find the page though that was similar to, oh, so they've also got reading the landscape just like the other one did. How minerals form. here we go. So this is where we start to see some of the same stuff about like the hornblends and the information we were seeing in this book. I kind of just wanted to compare, so really old resources, you literally just have text to go off and black and white pictures would describe some of the basic minerals to you and what you're looking for. And like, oh yeah, there's column basalt, columnar, yeah, there, columnar, weird word. Geez, I can't imagine having to be a geologist in the 60s to 80s before we had our beautiful color print books. I mean, there was color print, but they were expensive. Real expensive. Much more rare. So where... Hold on. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. It's a much better representation than the other one just had a list and was listing the, you know, feldspars versus pyroxenes and stuff. The reason I really like visual representations is here you've got a nice representation of there's your quartz and feldspar. You can see just how closely they're related. You've got your granites up here. Over here you've got your rhyolites. But it's just kind of cool and interesting to look at. This shows a mixture of what percentage of each mineral is in it to make up each rock. So it's a lot to kind of explain without going really into detail, but up here you've got a higher percentage of quartz. Down here you've got a lower percentage of quartz and a higher percentage of feldspar. So kind of fun to look at those little representations, and when you learn about classifying rocks and you're actually really trying to narrow stuff down, these kinds of things are pretty helpful. And try and scroll and chat and see what people are chatting about. Sill is what you find under your window. But I missed that one. Sorry, try and pop y'all off the tripod here for a minute. So, how many of you, I'm not gonna lie, going through this stuff in my geology class, it was crazy looking at a lot of them side by side and having to like determine a bunch of these different rocks from each other. It's so hard being colorblind. It's so ridiculous. But this is also just really basic. So when you see it says, you know, like we've got these, 12 different types of igneous rock right here, but they can be broken down into so many more subgroups than that. That's just like very basic groups. And sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks, not as fun. Although metamorphic rocks have some fun little gemstones in them, and it's where we get the garnets and whatnot. Get some cool dolo stone and stuff, I guess. My preference is mostly in the igneous rocks, where some of the best goodies come from. Ooh, hey, we had some of that on the stream the other night. Some rainforest jasper. Or rhyolite, I guess. This is talking about rhyolites. Although, even though we call it rainforest jasper, we know it looks like mini thunder eggs. And what are thunder eggs? Little rhyolite eggs. Sticky rhyolitic lava often traps pockets of volatile vapors in quickly cooled glassy rhyolites. Sometimes gas pockets develop into spherolites. Balls of radiating needle-like crystals and of quartz and feldspar forming spherulitic rhyolite. Spherulites are typically a few millimeters across, but can be up to a meter. Damn, that would be a thunder egg. A meter across? That would be a big old chunky thunder egg. Huh. The more you know. We learned something today. No, Utah Wonderstone is actually a sandstone. So that's going to be right here, I think. Oh, do they not have Wonderstone in this book? Let's look in the glossary. Ah, yes, arsenic and rocks. This is why I talk about not licking rocks. It's a serious danger, y'all. There's some scary rocks out there. All right, let's see if we've got Wonderstone in this book. Wonderstone, page 64. Oh. Oh, well, hold on. It does say page 64, which is rhyolite. Where's Wonderstone? See, I was told it was sandstone. I want to see where it says... Oh, here we go. Wonderstone mentioned here. Banded rhyolite below. When rhyolitic lava erupts on the surface, smaller crystals often respond to the flow by aligning themselves in bands, an effect called flow banding. Banded rhyolite is sometimes called wonderstone and valued by collectors, especially when it contains cavities filled with silica precipitates such as agate. Well, that's not what any of us, I think, call wonderstone, because... Hold on. I'm going to grab a piece of wonderstone. I think this is more what we all picture as wonderstone, which is soft as sandstone. I've got slabs of it. We can chip away at slabs to show you, but I don't know. I've heard a few people actually ask about the wonderstone recently, and that looks nothing like anything I see sold as wonderstone. But hey, that's the fun of trade names, right? Let's see what we find in some of these books on Wonderstone. Gems feels vindicated, yes. You're not the first one either, Gems. A few people have brought it up. No Wonderstone in this one. Okay. Unless there's a second. There's talc. What is this little chart actually? There's no Wonderstone on here either, but what is this little chart? Water, HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, HFAR, dissolves in cyanide solution, decompose. Oh my gosh, is this what a solubility chart? Huh. This tells you what gemstones and minerals will dissolve in what acids or solutions. Oh, that's kind of cool. Fluorite, water, HCl, H2SO4. Sulfuric acid releases HF. Huh. Table of mineral solubilities. There's a legend. Hydrofluoric acid tells you the acids and stuff. That's really cool. Difficulty dissolved and slightly damaged. O, not affected. XXX easily dissolved. Okay. That's pretty cool. How handy is that chart? So this is why I love picking up old books. None of my new books have that. Not that I've seen. Some of them have like randomly in here some information like, oh, dissolves in hydrochloric acid, but like that's about it. Oh, this one you mean, Gems? Yeah. Let's see, where's Wonderstone in this one? I feel like this book didn't have Wonderstone, like we already tried to look it up once. Yeah, this one doesn't even have Wonderstone. Only this book does, and the only mention of it is right here. So, I don't know. One of the guys at the club, he pulled it up, and it was a picture of the slabs just like I have. And it says there, I believe it said there, that it's a sedimentary sandstone. So, conflicting information on what Wonderstone is. I missed some chat there. Didn't give a Wonderstone. Perhaps the Wonderstone is a sandstone mixed with rhyolite. I mean, maybe that's what gives it the yellow color, is some rhyolite in the sandstone makes it yellow. The other thing is all the old books, not this one, but some of the other old books, say that Wonderstone has to have the yellow in it to be called Wonderstone. But those are more metaphysical books. Okay, Rocky Mountain Bear had said there's different types of Wonderstone, and yeah, Mount Vernon is like those slabs that I have. Sanidine feldspar? Is that something you want me to look up? That's going to be... It's quartz, rhyolite, porphyry, spallate, basalt. Ooh, that's a fun page to open up too. Rhodochrosite. Tasty. There's some dolomite. That's dolomite, baby. Sorry, Sonia said Sanidine feldspar. Let's see if one of these books has that. Remember, I'm easily distracted. You might have to yell at me. Sandstone. San Andreas Fault, sand. Sanidine. 136 and 206. Page 136 and 206. Oh, identifying minerals. How to identify. So that's just going to tell us, where is it here? It'd be right over here. Oh, geez, it'd be nice. Oh, they're by hardness. Okay. So if it's a feldspar, won't it be? It should be up here. You said it's a feldspar? Sanidine feldspar. Am I crazy? Huh. Well, anyway, that's just a hardness thing. It just tells us the hardness. Let's look at the 206. Was the other page it said it was on, right? Feldspar, Sanidine. Which will actually tell us its hardness was a 6. So I don't know how I was missing it. I guess I was skimming too fast. So it's potassium aluminum silicate. Sanidine looks very like orthoclase. But has a glassier, less grainy texture. It looks translucent or even transparent. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully that gave you any information you might have been looking for. Specific gravity is 2.53. Notable locations. Of course, it's not all of them, but Gunnison, Arizona, New Mexico. as far as US US spots. Cool. Anyone want to throw out a random mineral? We'll look for it. Or just open up random pages and look at stuff. Platinum. Platinum's always fun. Fire obsidian. Now, you know, unfortunately, while these books have a few things on obsidian, they mostly just have snowflake obsidian and Apache tears. I haven't checked out this other new book, which is the oldest book I just got. By the way, hi, Kyle. Yeah, it just says obsidian there. I'm gonna look under F. I really doubt there's gonna be fire obsidian because they don't really. F, there's F. Nope, no fire. But let's look. 2672, 139. Be nice if they have a pretty picture of some fire obsidian in here. Oh, that's the mineral identification page, so that's just going to be the hardness one. So 72 and 26. So yeah, here we go, obsidian. Oh, we were on this page before too. So yeah, the Apache tears. And then jet black obsidian. And some snowflake, which we've got some snowflake obsidian around still. I think Gems might have snagged up most of it. And maybe Loki got some. Really? It says Oregon and Glass Butte. I don't see Utah. It's funny, they just skip over Utah. Look. Oregon, Glass Buttes, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona. Just straight skip Utah. Even though Utah has multiple types of obsidian and is right in between those other states. Like, to get from Oregon to Colorado, you're driving through Utah probably. And Wyoming. Like, there's Wyoming. They're just like, yeah, Utah? Nah. Oh, Gems, you got some snowflake obsidian from me, I was saying. You were going to make beads with it. Yeah, no fire obsidian mentioned there. Or no pictures of it, rather. What do they say? Like rhyolite, obsidian forms from the same magma that solidifies as granite. Solidifies as granite deep underground. When rhyolite magma approaches the surface, the reduction in pressure means that some of its water is lost as steam. This de-watered rhyolite magma becomes very thick and viscous. Indeed, it becomes so thick that crystals do not get a chance to grow before the erupted lava is chilled and frozen solid. The result is a rock that is just like solid glass, except slightly harder, and often jet black. Coolio. I don't have my speaking voice on today. Sticktite is found in Tasmania. Oh yeah, that's right. So let's look in this one. See if there's any mention of fire obsidian here. Well, they had a very small glossary. Obsidian described field features. Oh, whoops. I know the alphabet. Firearms. Firearms. Interesting, but no fire obsidian. Seriously, this book has everything. Kyle, I don't know if you were here or missed it, but here we've got our how to set your primers for your explosives and all that fun stuff even. Ooh, is that like making your own hardness value kit? Specific gravity kit? Oh, that's a good one too. Oh wait, what was the one on? Natural insects, insect repellents, or what? Oh yeah, how to deal with different insects. Man, this book has all sorts of. It's basically a small survival guide. It says field collecting gemstones and minerals, but honestly, like this much of the book is a survival guide, like this much, and then tools and stuff. But obsidian, it said was page, I forgot now, 130, 137. Breaks like glass, splintery, spherical inclusions, commonly black. Flattened flows with contorted surfaces. Yeah, these old books are not as useful as the nice, pretty picture ones. Kyle, I'm not gonna disagree because I think it's super awesome. I think it's outstanding what fire obsidian and fire agate can look like. I mean, I guess it is info needed. You're right, Jeff. You do want to know how to survive if you're stuck. Say you get stuck out there or something crazy. Let's see. The book you have indicates Millard County, Utah. Oh, nice. Anyone have any other random minerals they want to throw out? Can talk about, this is a gem and mineral book. We can see a lot of people were talking about it because it came up in the gemstones video yesterday with halite. Is salt a gemstone? Is sugar a gemstone? Let's see. I'll check the glossary. I don't even know if halite's in here. Halite on 4 different pages. Wow, okay. Well, I guess that means they count it. Oh wait, let's see. That's not going to be a page we want. 136. That's probably the one we want. Oh no, that's the ID one. Dang. 164. That's going to be it. Salts. Halite is common salt or rock salt. That's a pretty color though. Whew. I like the halite can be identified by its salty taste. Interesting. Salt tastes like salt. Most important part though, but there is a risk of poisoning if you make a mistake. So it's better to identify it by its softness and the cube shape of its crystals. I'm a big proponent of not licking rocks because you really don't know. Oh man, obsidian depends. Obsidian comes from all over. We just talked about that. I think you must have just joined Al Gold Prospecting. We were just talking about, oh look, there's some more snowflake obsidian. I just read the little interesting, I guess it was interesting, but I read the little intro blurb on that. Mimetite. That's pretty. Tektite though, let's see. I think this may have tektites. I'm not sure if this one's just earth minerals. Let's see. Tektite. Tektite, page 133. Some fluorites. Tektites. Now, of course, remember there is a slight variation in tektites, so you can't ever just take one bit of information. There is a range. It does say similar to granite with 70% silica, but not all tektites are actually 70% silica. There is a slight, there's a variation in them. Splash form tektite. These tektites are dark globs of black or green glass. They can be round, teardrop, disc, dumbbell, and even rod-shaped. Their surface is always marked by pits and furrows created by corrosion. Also, the shape it develops flying through the air and cooling. And it shows an interesting texture. So here, got suvite. What's the difference here? Huh. They look like volcanic breccia. Found at impact sites there. Made of rock powder and glass. Interesting. What was it you were wondering about tektites? Was there any specific information? Look at all the places. Notable occurrences. Germany, obviously, Molda. That's the Moldavite. Everyone knows Moldavite from Czech Republic. All sorts of places. Malaysia, Philippines, Tasmania, Australia. So the problem is while tektites are rare, I'm gonna do the rare, just like meteorites are rare. It just means like the amount that are available is like way lower than natural minerals on Earth. Even like, I think technically they say, the amount of tektites is lower than the amount of diamonds or gold on the planet because it's just what is created during impacts and is still on the surface, because old impacts, all the tektites from that was buried and lost long ago, or through erosion and different processes, lost, buried, whatever. So it's rare, but not so rare that there's only 100 out there. Like with some impacts, yeah, there's only like under 100 tektites known from certain impacts. So from certain areas, they're extremely rare. From other areas, they're a little more common. That being said, it is rare enough that people fake it, just like diamonds. There's fake diamonds. There is definitely fake moldavite, and the market is flooded with fake moldavite. I've seen quite a bit fake moldavite out there. It shows, and I don't know, it's weird. Some of it, I've even seen plastic sold, like it was straight up plastic or resin. You picked it up and it wasn't glassy, and it was like a piece of plastic, almost like the fake amber, fake resin stuff, and I was like, well, that's not moldavite. Another key giveaway is when a big piece of moldavite and a huge piece of moldavite necklace, is in a nice necklace pendant and it's $15. That's a huge red flag. Big red flag. So anyway, it's rare, not super, super rare, but it is rare. Rare enough that you need to watch out for fakes though. That's my 2 cents on moldavite. I don't buy it. I refuse to buy it because I've seen so many fakes out there. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from buying it. Find a trusted dealer, a reputable place. You are going to pay more, but isn't that what you want? You want to pay, you want the security of knowing that you're getting what you're paying for. And paying some guy on Etsy what seems like a really good deal of half price of the market price for something is, well, that should be a red flag, maybe for a reason. Trust me, bro. Like, for example, the booth. There was a booth at the last gem show I went to. They refused to be recorded and wouldn't let me record there or take any pictures, but every single other booth would. I asked him, I was like, is there any reason why? I was like, don't get me wrong, I won't film or take pictures, that's fine. But I was like, is there any particular reason why you don't want people to film or advertise for you? Because I'd just be giving you free advertisement. And they were like, I just don't want any pictures from our stuff out there. I don't want anyone on YouTube or anyone to see us. I don't want anyone online seeing us. And I was like, and I saw why instantly. I sat there and looked at some of the things in their booth, and it was like, what would be $3 a gram of Ethiopian opal at 4 of the other booths next to them. They had $3 a gram of Ethiopian opal, and it was $30 a gram for the same Ethiopian opal at their booth, but they had it listed as super rare, extra rare Ethiopian opal. And they had a bunch of the fake amber where it's like all identical bugs, like hundreds of pieces of amber with the mosquito right in the middle perfectly, and that, and it was like still sticky. I'm not gonna out who they were, say their name, or be rude, because they're at lots of shows around, but they had a lot of sketchy products, and they definitely had fake, cheap fake moldavite. Yeah, they had the good stuff. That's why it was 10 times market price. And the resin, well, the thing about the amber was like it smelled like amber, and the weirdest part was that he had a needle and lighter and wanted to, if anyone's like looking at the amber, he's like, you want to smell, I'll heat it up, and like would want to prove that it's real amber by burning it for you. And I'm like, if these are real bug specimens with real mosquitoes in it and not just some poured, like you actually made this amber with fresh resin, like, I don't know. Yeah. No one, you don't do that with really nice specimens. You're not out here burning them with a lighter. All your specimens at a show to prove they're real. Like, yeah, cool, it smells like real amber because you heated up amber and poured it over a bug. I need to dig up that video. I'll share it on the Discord, but I actually saw someone did like an insider video of how they make the fake amber. I mean, it's real tree sap, but it's not old petrified amber. Like they are literally, heating it up, warming it up, pouring it over bugs, or squeezing bugs into it, inserting bugs, and they do it within hydro ones too. And they'll just take like a needle and squirt liquid into the heated up amber, and then dry it and solidify it and sell it as in hydro amber. Like you gotta be really careful out there. Another reason I've really been liking dealing with rough rocks recently, rough rocks and crystal and stuff like this. This is the stuff that's not faked the same. A lot of crystals we can't lab grow, or they're more expensive to lab grow than they are just to get naturally, so they're not faked. Good morning, Mom. I like this little book. This is the one I'll take with me when I travel. When I've been going on flights to places, like I took it to Italy, I took it to the Dominican Republic, I took it to Mexico, took it on all our travels recently. I throw it in my suitcase and I take this one around because it's just nice to have. It's got some quick info you might want, tests. It'll tell you not just hardness, it's got your hardness and specific gravity for your minerals, specific gravity, hardness, all that kind of stuff. But also other types of tests you can do, like this one might fluoresce orange. That's a nice thing to know. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. Hydrozincite. Yeah, Chaos, this is one of the best. One of the best entry-level cheap books, I feel like, out there. I looked through like 15 of the different Rockhound guides, and I ended up getting these two at a local used bookstore for like $5 a piece or something. It was a really, really good deal because they were like in brand new condition. I've definitely used this one and cracked its back a bit. Yeah, this one is Chris Pallant. So this one is the Eyewitness Handbooks, Rocks and Minerals by Chris Pallant. You can find them on Amazon, but also my huge recommendation, is go to halfpricebooks.com. Check out halfpricebooks.com and you might get like a brand new one. Or they have stores. I go to a lot of the we went to one, I think Half Price Books, the actual physical store is where I bought these. This one's the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Rocks, Minerals, and Gemstones, and this one is by John Farndon. So yeah, they have them on Amazon, but used bookstore is definitely, I think, your best bet. Oh, they're just nice. Dawsonite, let's see. That's what I'm here for today. I want to look up random things until 3:16. We got about 30 more minutes tops that I can hang out. No Dawsonite there. Charles Darwin, Donna System. No Dawsonite, nope. Oh, we'll check the old one here. What is it, Chaos? Is that something local to you? Is that a local name for something? Oh, no Dawsonite mentioned there either. Diamond saws, diamond saws, diamond pipes, diamond papers. What? That can't be diamond rolling papers. So, 322. I'm curious. Is that like sandpaper? Like diamond sandpaper? Huh. How to make diamond papers. Literally. I think everyone probably left. I'm back. Talks amongst yourselves. I'm here. I'm back. I didn't realize I still had that one on. Okay. You good? I didn't check the sound. Dang it. You know, like my mess of rocks over there? There's a lot of rocks. How's the sound? Good? Down? Sound? Is the sound on? I assume so. Hopefully. Okay, cool. A lot of times when I get a phone call, the sound will just like cut out and say no more for the day, and then it just, it's like a pull your hair out moment. Speaking of, I need a haircut before I pull all my hair out. It's getting gnarly. It's time for a haircut. Anyhow, so we were talking about, or trying to look up Dawsonite. There is no Dawsonite. So normally I'd ignore the phone, but it was my partner calling, and so I need to make sure it was nothing important. You did post a little something about Dawsonite. Okay. So, does anyone have any other little minerals they want to look up? We've got just a little more time. It's a rare fibrous mineral that dissolves in water. Oh, okay. So is Dawsonite like... Oh, hey, how perfect. Oh, not this one. No. There's one that looks like this. That's more like pectolite. It looks like that or pectolite, but it's fibrous as well. I wonder if that's in here. I feel like we're going the wrong way. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, look at the pretty barrel. I know it's not the same as like actually holding one in my hand, but I hope to find some of those later this fall. I'm going to a place that has some barrel. Although we're not going to find gem grade. We're not going to find anything like that. The stuff we're looking for is like this. In Utah, you can get some chunks of barrel that have a darker color. They're not transparent like these. I mean, maybe there's transparent stuff too. Not that I know of. But they look like emerald, or are emerald. So I'm not too sure. It's emerald. Yeah, emerald is just a type of beryl, right? It's a certain color of beryl. Man, it's so hard with some of the gemstones. Yeah, right, John? And howdy. How you doing today, John? This one's a tease. This one's a real big tease. Dioptase. Dioptase. Oh, that's what I want to find. Actually, so is these... The reason I ended up getting these books, I don't think I can find the mineral that led me to like needing an identification book. But I've got another one I want to show you here real quick. So this was a little helpful to have the books, but at the same time, like, it didn't give me all the information I needed. It pointed me in the right direction, and I ended up having to go online to look. But if you notice, it's got a druzy luster to it. But if you look close, it's definitely not quartz. Oh, hold on. Ooh. Hair tickling in my throat or something. So hopefully we can get a good enough focus there, but they're little garnets. But they're green, and I had no idea what I was looking at. Oh, these little tiny green garnet-looking things. And that's when I got pointed to some other online identification stuff, and came to find out that garnets aren't just red. And that garnets come in a few colors. They come in like red, green, yellow. Yeah, look at those little green gemmy garnets. Oh, come on, give me a close focus. So there's two types of the green garnets, and yeah, I think Savartine is the more green. If you look at the chart, just match up kind of that color of green to the chart. It might be a mix right between the Savartine and the other one. What is it? Not andesite. What's the other one that's greenish yellow above it? So yeah, they're all that same family. They come in a little variation of color, just depending on the inclusive minerals or metals that are in them. More aluminum, more this, more that. Nice, Kyle. I would definitely like to see what you've got so far. I've only got 2 types of garnets that I've found myself. 3. Sorry. Only got 3 types of garnets I've found myself. 2 of them are red. One of them is this green. But I've got 2 other big ones that were gifted to me from other places, like the big Boston garnets. Yeah, the place where I found that last one I just showed you was right up the road from where I got this. And this was yellow, nasty, rust coated. Like, this is the part I couldn't get off. But the whole crystal is actually really nasty and covered in rust and black and brown stuff. And all this oxidization and whatnot over it. But got most of it off, and it. Let's see if we get a nice close focus here. It's got some nice little rainbows in it. I love the little rainbows in the quartz. But nice little cluster I found. I think it needs like another acid bath if I want to get more of this stuff off. All I had was iron out, so this is just iron out. That's it. I think I might have tried a vinegar bath too, just to help assist after the iron out, see if the vinegar would take anything off, but yeah. It's just an iron out bath. That's the little one though. The big one I also cleaned. This one here. So this was the other one I found in the same spot as that last one. And this one was also yellow. The whole thing was like this because it's full of pyrite. A lot of the pyrite weathered out or got eaten out by the iron out. But this was from a pyrite mine. And there's still some little pieces of pyrite right there you can see. All the dark little specks are pyrite that was filled in between the quartz. This thing was really, really dirty. Clean that up. Later, Kyle. Gonna go try and prep for tomorrow night. Still have to work on a red dino bone. Oh, nice. And the mineral on the bottom right corner of the book. That is a feldspar pegmatite. That one I actually think is the same picture in both books, funny enough. I think it's a famous one in a museum or something. Ooh. Some pretty chalcedonies there. Let's see. I think it's... Oh, I thought I knew where it was. Just kidding. I have to look it up. Anywho, it's a feldspar. Just a little more admiring of this beauty. And then I'm going to go pack up the orders that are paid for, send out the last 2 invoices that didn't go out. I think I just need to send one to Gems, actually, and Jeff. I think everyone else has their invoice. Yeah, Sonia, this one's actually for sale. It was on my table for a few sales and no one took it, so I put it back away. But it took a lot of cleaning. It's the biggest one I've ever found there. It's actually in one of my videos. If you go back, if you search on my channel and look at Maxfield Pyrite Mine, this one's on the cover, and it's all yellow on the cover too, before I cleaned it and did the iron out cleaning. This one took days of cleaning, days of soaking and scrubbing with a brush, spraying it out. There's still iron staining in it. Didn't even get it all. I know it's a little expensive for quartz. And you know, I have cheaper quartz. I have chunks this big for like $20, but this one, because of what it means to me and where it's from and all the effort I put into it, I was asking $50 on my live sales. which is probably why no one bought it, but that's okay. It will live on my shelf. I kind of do that with some of my personal display pieces that I really like. I set a crazy high, I guess it's not crazy high, but I set a high price because I'm not willing to let it go for less. Oh, geez, John. So what I would do is I would let it soak for like 12 to 24 hours in iron out, take it out and use toothbrushes or small rigid paint brushes and get all down, because I had to get all down in there, and any sediment that builds up with iron out can cause dark, even worse staining that like then needs another acid to clean off. So you have to be careful the way you use iron out on big specimens, and that's probably why this spot stayed dark. Is this is probably where if I remember, I think every time I kept putting it in the jar, I'd put it down like this, and that's the spot that was like down the most. But yeah, overall, it probably spent in the 40s to 50s of hours in the iron out. It probably spent somewhere between 40 and 50 something hours soaking in the iron out. And then I put it in baking soda to neutralize it for like a week. I kept switching out the water too and put more baking soda and let it soak for probably a solid 7 days or so, I think it was. 6 or 7 days. To make sure the acid was neutralized. And you can see the acid ate away the whole matrix, and what's left here is this crazy fried chicken honeycomb. The quartz base. A little bit of pyrite left in there. Oh, my chat's glitching out. It showed Kyle said something, but it was his last message popped up again. Oh, weird phone. What? Hold on. Switch to top chat, back to live chat. There we go. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, exactly. No, you're both right. I'm gonna grab another new one that no one has seen. So this is a new personal rock that no one has seen, and no, it's not for sale. This one was just given to me by Gene. Maybe 1 or 2 people might have seen it. I don't know if I've shown people. But nice chunk of amethyst. And now here's the crazy part. This amethyst, unless I'm misremembering, comes from Utah or very nearby. And if you look, it almost has the chevron. Man, there's hexagon shapes right there. Like those would have been really big points, maybe even. Those could have been 2 big points coming up out of that. Some crystal bases there. Yeah. Beautiful color in that. Nice little points. Nice big points. Nice little crystal cave-ish in there. Kind of a cave, kind of not. And then this, what I would call an celestial point. See how it's got all the little points fused to the outside of it going up? I believe that's what we'd call a celestial. Feel free to chime in if you feel differently, but I believe that's what's referred to as an celestial point. Cluster of tips on one point. Also, just somewhat one of those trade name things. I found my first ever fluorite, Captain. Oh, I was so happy. It was at the New Jersey dig. So I'll grab the black light, but unfortunately it's so dark, so bright in here, we're not gonna see it. But this is my first and only piece of fluorite that I've ever found myself. And look at the color to it. It's the only fluorite I've found thus far, although next week I'm trying to go to a place that's supposed to have fluorite to find. So it's in a piece of what I had been calling calcite, but I guess might be zincite. This is from New Jersey. This is from the mine I went to in New Jersey. Yeah, there we go. You can see some of the UV. I think that's fluorite on calcite, not zincite actually. So the zincite glows red. I'll grab a piece of the zincite actually. So here, this one's a piece of zincite and willemite together. And the white stuff looks just like the calcite with see the flat face there? Everything about it seems like calcite. And when you're in the mine, it looks exactly like calcite. I mean, they said it is. It's a form of calcite, but they call it zincite when it's red. So that's zincite. And then that one's zincite with willemite. So I sliced up some pieces of this just the other day. And if you want to give me just a sec, I'll pull some out. So I went to the rock club and cut up a bunch of rocks. I think it's over here. I don't remember where I set it though. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this will be the last little thing before we call it. And I go do a couple things I gotta get doing for the day. So I cut a bunch of things at the Rock Mineral Gem Club the other day. I cut up some chunks of the peristerite. This is that stuff that had the nice purple in it. Hold on, oops. Come on, turn on flash, there we go. Some of it's got rainbow. Some of it's just got the purple. Someone's got some gold flash. This one's not much. Come on, give me a good piece here. It's also not wet. I don't know. You've all seen this. It's the stuff that gets the pretty rainbows in it. Messed with a bunch of that. I also cut up a chunk of the Wonderstone I had, took some slabs off of it, and started to pre-shape it for a pyramid. So ignore the ugliness there. It's going to be taken down a bit. I just, on the saw, pre-shaped kind of a semi-pyramid. It's going to go a little smaller so I can even out the angles, but yeah, started that. A little something there. Going to be a Wonderstone pyramid. Kind of cool, I thought. I don't know. If I do it just right, it might... I don't know. I was hoping when I'd cut it that it would just get like a golden cap on it. Thing is, I cut down into it. I don't think this will go away on these sides, but it would be kind of cool if it ended up with like a golden cap. Gems, I had seen you said something about I meant to actually ask you. You said something about wanting them cut into something like strips. So you said something about strips or sticks. I don't know if you saw my response was this is all I had. This was, I think these were about the last of it. I will look and double check in my drawers, but I think these pieces were about some of the last that I had. I sent all of it to Tyler. So Tyler's got a 40-pound box of peristerite coming. But I'm sure he will be more than happy to do some saw work and trade for a little money if you want some stuff cut, maybe. Because I know Tyler was talking about doing a live sale. I don't know. Maybe he'd commission a little work. If you want a certain size of chunks cut that I sent him. Trade a little saw time for a little money. So this is some more of the Willemite stuff, and that's that piece that I cut up. This one will make really, really cool cabs, I think. It'll be, I don't know, probably one of the first things I do after, I got 2 custom pieces to do, one for Unheard Voice, as soon as I get my machine back operational. And then after I do the one for her, I'm going to probably make these. And do some cabochons with these pieces. That is some crazy green in those. Oh. I cut up a red one too. Didn't look as good. Crumbled a lot more. Sorry, hold on, let me see the chat. Oh, you said yes. Oh. Yeah. I was asking if you wanted some of these or some pieces from them. I was going to do potentially some things with them. I've got 10,000 projects I wanted to do. So it was, yeah, mostly a question if you were interested in pieces like this or if you'd want some bigger, better stuff. And I sent the rest to Tyler, but yeah, we can chat about that in a little private chat and iron out details. Tyler will be sitting on the rest of that collection now. I told the guy to be sure to hold some more for me, and I haven't been over there in like over a week. So I'm gonna go and see if he cut any more other, like of the black. He had actual labradorite and spectralite and some other stuff, and I've seen him working on a bunch of things the last couple weeks, and only like stopped over there once and looked in their scrap bin. But I need to go talk to him and see if he's saved any more like really nice flashy or special things for me. I've just been kind of swamped and busy doing things, and just it keeps escaping my mind. And whenever I think about it, like his shop's closed and he's gone home for the day, and I walked over there. I guess it was about a week ago, and he was closed already. I was like, dang it, I missed it. Yeah, Sonia, thanks for hanging out. Go check out Travis's short video, 8 minutes with acid and crystals on his channel. Do it, do it, do it. If I could redirect from my phone, I would do it. Let's see. No, there's not a redirect thing. I want to test it out with someone, any other channel that's willing to try it. Maybe Tyler, Travis, anyone. There's a new feature. It's not that new, but you can redirect to another channel at the end of your premiere. So we can set up our premieres to go one after the other. And as, like, say the premiere ends on my channel, it'll just automatically redirect everyone in chat to the next channel. And it on that channel, it'll be like, oh, Rufo Triss and 15 of his viewers are watching your premiere right now. So that's something YouTube's been integrating, and I've been seeing it on other channels. Some of my gold panning friends are doing it right now, and you see it over there. It's like, what was it, Miller Prospecting on Vendetta's channel the other night was, you saw a bunch of them over there watching. So, I don't know, something I want to try out. Sounds like kind of fun. But we already do our premieres back to back, but that would also help encourage people to go to the next channel. If they're just like, oh, I'm not subbed, I'm not going to click, I'm not going to find out. They just like give up, but I don't know, might direct some more people to each other too, so also fun. Keep the chats going, keep the chats rolling from room to room. Dog hair floating in my eye. Yeah, I will be live again potentially later. I think Karen's doing a live. I don't know how late she's gonna go. She's on the West Coast, so for me it's generally pretty late that she's going. But I was gonna try and do another live sale. We're desperately trying to get rid of lots and lots of things, and I'm going to put a lot of my personal big rocks in the collection again to reduce the weight and like size of boxes and stuff for moving. Even though we'll have a moving pod, I don't know. trying to get rid of a lot of the big personal collection stuff I don't need to hang on to anymore. Yeah, rating. I know Twitch has like official stream raids and like stream rating is a thing, but for the streamer side, the content creator side, in the options, at least on computer, not on mobile, but there's a thing that just says Premiere. Oh my gosh, forget what it's called, but it's like Premiere integration, something, whatever. They don't call it rating on the creator side, but it should. It should just be like Premiere raid or channel raid. It should just be a channel raid button. Yeah. Anyway, let me scroll through chat. Jim's posted the video for Travis. Perfect. Can't you get more from the counter? Jeff, if you're still hanging out, which I bet you are, the Peristerite I got, those white pieces, it was the very last that he had. He used everything that was left, and that's the reason he gave me the like 50 something pounds total. Because normally he'd only give me a few small scrap pieces, but he said all he had left was like that chunk, and he gave me all of it. So like I took like all 50 pounds home. I used and kept a bunch, and then sent some to a few other people, and I sent like 40 pounds to Tyler, and a few other people got some. I don't remember now. A few people randomly have some. You might even have some in your box, Jeff. Who knows? I just put it randomly in boxes. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for now for y'all. I think we're gonna leave it there. My dog is staring me down. Look at her. She's creeping over here. Oh, I said it and she looked away. Oh, you are looking. Look at her. She's creeping and just staring. She's watching y'all. All right. Bye, everybody.